We're honored on Exclusive with Taghreed Hussain to have with us His Excellency Yerlan Bai Dawlat, Director General of the Islamic Organization for Food Security. And we'll be talking about science and innovation and its role at the organization, a 24/7 organization. Your Excellency, thank you so much again for joining Nile TV International and talking about the priorities of the organization, working hard, a 24/7 organization will be also dependent on science and technology as important tools in order to achieve innovation in the work.
Sure. One of the pillars is already mentioned is we call it STI Agenda 2026. It means science, technology, innovation. It is under OIC umbrella. The recent OIC summit on science and technology, which was held virtually in Abu Dhabi 1 month ago, has emphasized the role of our organization. And we have honor to do our best for our member countries. With regard to science and technology, our main important point is to bring those especially best practices and scientific achievements to the ground, to the people. And one of the solutions is to develop our center of excellences. Each of our strategic commodities has such kind of center of excellence, where we activating intra-OIC good cooperation, specialists from different member countries. They having a good dialogue. They have really opportunity to exchange technologies, and they're talking about productivity of those crops and what are new possibilities, what kind of innovative technologies could be introduced. In this regard, of course, I just want to emphasize the role of Egypt, and you have really, I was impressed yesterday to know that Egypt is very much relied on water coming from outside. Almost 97% is coming from outside, and this is great to have this kind of most effective water management system. This is another program of our institution where we are, again, I told that we are going to participate in those activities in Cairo Water Week. We're also taking care about genetic background of what we are doing, because what is genetic resources? This is the basic foundation of food security.
Yes.
If you don't have enough seeds, or you don't have really, or it's those genetic resources, it does matter, plants or animals, we should take care, and we have to be self-sufficient in this regard. So we're developing national gene banks, and we have very good relations in this regard with our partners from Egypt and from other neighbor countries. And we also thinking how we can bring science and technology on ground, and for our businessmen. You asked me about how we are going to develop trade. And one of our activities and out of these 16 programs is an International Islamic Food Processing Association. It's a newly born organization which was established under English law in Astana International Financial Center. It's started to arrange a lot of activities. We have partners with big institutions under OIC family, like Islamic Development Bank, ITFC, ICD, ISEC, Islamic Chamber of Commerce, and other partners, international organizations like FAO. We have also, it's an honor of us to have good partners like ICARDA and IGBA in our member countries. This is very important for us because it will basically facilitate right food supply chain. And as I told you, this food supply chain is based on the good trading activities, which are very important. And we also discuss these days also issue of how we can assure food import also for Egypt, because due to climatic changes
Yeah.
and even conditions, it is not easy to produce, for example, wheat. It is very difficult. We're talking, for example, hard wheat. So we discussed this nice opportunity, and we brought this bilateral dimension between Egypt and Kazakhstan. And we hope that after this visit we will really activate all our good relations on multilateral and bilateral level. As for Kazakhstan, I can say you that this is our honor to be headquartered in Kazakhstan, in city Nur-Sultan, which is a capital city. Your Excellency, you told me about how you really was impressed.
Yes, it was a very impressive visit to
people
Kazakhstan.
and nature. It's our privilege, and we are very happy to be part of the Islamic Ummah, to be helpful, and how we can arrange these kind of activities from our headquarters. I told, and of course this is not easy, because in some cases we have to rely on our diplomatic relations, which are now on the highest level. I want to express my gratitude to our ambassador in Kazakhstan, Khairat Lamasharif, and also Mrs. Ambassador of Egypt in Kazakhstan, Mrs. Ashanawi. And we know that both of them are really paying whole attention to this.
They are very keen to take
very
our
keen, very keen,
relations
yes.
higher.
And we are very happy to be a gate for Egyptian businesses through work to Kazakhstan and Central Asia.
Yeah.
This is, I think, a great opportunity, and our programs will facilitate these activities. One of programs actually is called National Food Sector Development. In this regard, we're working with the national investment agencies. So,
and definitely collaborating with the investment agency.
For sure, yes.
Egypt.
We have another meeting.
What are the future plans in the field of investment and food security in Egypt between both countries?
I think Egypt has achieved very good result in food sector. I'm talking supply chain, value chain. And every country now is thinking about, especially after pandemic and
after
during
COVID,
after COVID, taking care about how to provide self-sufficiency. And one of the important programs on national level is to develop our own food processing companies, and we are helping. We are helping in this regard, and we would like to be close to the interest of organization. We are as IOFS. We are G2G organization, and our subsidiary, which is International Islamic Food Processing Association, is B2B mechanism, which will develop those activities. And using this opportunity, I'm inviting Egyptian food entrepreneurs to be part of this organization.
That's great. And seeing entrepreneurs also, and small and medium-sized enterprises and new businesses opening and fostering further relations between Egypt and Kazakhstan vis-a-vis the people-to-people relations.
Absolutely.
How can the organization help in that respect and support that respect?
It's our honor to help on a B2B level to entrepreneurs of our esteemed countries. I'm talking, of course, how we can do it, and I think we are able to propose a new dimension of activities. And in this regard, I can just mention of some part of our discussions of Egyptian authorities, how we can do this kind of things. So, for example, with regard to wheat import, we're thinking about opportunities to develop so-called off-take agreements, where Egyptian wheat traders can invest and they can be assured that the harvest which they produce there in very good areas located there, and they can storage their commodities after harvesting, and then can utilize available logistic facilities. And this will, first of all, bring a stability. I'm talking price stability.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, in some cases, and especially last year, our countries, I'm talking about all OIC countries, they face the issue of increasing, and we are still having this problem, issue of price increase on food, on main food items. So our idea to bring our multilateral platform for bilateral relations, where we can assure we can help our countries to build up those corridors. Just last week, I had a visit to Moscow, and I met the Minister of Agriculture of the Eurasian Economic Union, and it was especially emphasized that the corridor from that area, from Central Asia, from this, we call it post-Soviet countries, which has good production capacity on those items like food or livestock. Wheat and livestock, to work through Egypt, because Egypt is going to sign very soon free trade agreement with Eurasian Economic Union. And it will help, I'm sure it will help, to help to people and to businesses, especially to activate their relations, to get more sources of high quality food, and of course to minimize the prices, which is very important in such a period.
Yeah. What sort of challenges, Excellency, did COVID-19 pose, and through the member states, how far, with this sense of collaboration and coordination within the organization, you managed to contain this crisis? I guess it was a hard time, but however, through a sense of coordination and persistence, things went smoother.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think COVID-19 is a big examination for all countries. It's for all people around the world. It unfortunately is still continuing, but I think humanity is going to be adapted in some cases, and of course individually everybody will take care, give more attention to issue of cleanliness and sanitary norms and others. As for countries, I think member countries has, because in OIC region we are different, and we have recently identified, according to World Food Program, hunger hotspot, 11 countries, which is really in very acute situation of hunger, and we're going to help them through developing our relations and developing our programs. I think that pandemic has revealed a lot of new things, which we call it new normal.
Yes, and, new norms for the world.
Yes, for the world. And for us, for the organization, it was as a young organization, because we just actively started to work in autumn 2019, and after 5 months of active stage of work, we faced the pandemic, where we have to stop our visits and relations and field. So we started to work online. And we are, as I told you, a very active organization. We have almost 2-3 events, important events, online, where we are promoting our agenda. And we have very high level of audience, and those audiences consist of researchers, scientists, on level of B2B, state companies, private companies are interested to know more. And I hope that after a pandemic, which I hope that next year we will be more active, will allow us to gain more benefit from this kind of activities. And we also know now during pandemic we found that we have to pay to which areas, to which issues we have to pay more attention. And in this regard, very important is to develop cross-border partnership, which is very important. Today we had, by the way, a very good meeting with the regional office of Food and Agriculture Organization, which is FAO, and we agreed that we will very closely work. Because
seeing eye to eye.
Absolutely, seeing eye to eye, yes. This is extremely important. And for investment, you asked me about it. We are going to bring those investors to the areas where they were not before. And my meeting last week, I was in Tunisia, and when I met the minister told me that yes, unfortunately, we know other countries like Europe, US, Japan, China, but we don't know each other in OIC. And this is a really challenge for us. We would like to develop this cross-border relations. We want to develop reverse linkage. We want to activate the South-to-South cooperation. And we are very proud to observe strong support from our member countries.
We're really very proud of your efforts and what the organization is doing at a very short time before the outbreak of COVID. However, things managed to be better, hopefully. And I thank you so much, Excellency Yerlan Baydawlat, the Director General of the Islamic Organization for Food Security, our honorable guest, our guest of honor with us tonight on Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein during his very significant visit to Egypt. Thank you, Excellency, and come back soon.
Thank you.
See
you.
And I thank you, dear viewers, for joining us. That was Exclusive for tonight. We'll meet you again next week. Until then.